My brothers and sisters, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to go over an Ironman I recently played in order to go over some of my mistakes, but also technical plays that you guys might be curious about. But first foremost, I would like to shout out the sponsor of this video, Sleevechief. Sleevechief has as a goal to provide the top-notch products to the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Don't miss out the opportunity to purchase this amazing Endless Chaos deck box. And also, during this Sunday, Sleevechief is gonna have a collaboration with Nivska to provide you guys the Visas Journey Cloth Playmat and the Pendle Force border sleeves. Go check them out on sleevechief.de and don't miss out this amazing opportunity and use GO5 in order to have a 5% discount on all Sleevechief products. That said, now it's time to dive inside the mind of Nash. So I lose the dice roll and my opponent goes first. My hand is amazing. I have Troll, Arbata, Impermanence, Ash, and Sanke-Eyes. That's literally what you want to see. My opponent starts with Sanke-Eyes. Even if I did not have Troll, I'm not inclined to stop Sanke-Eyes. I like to punish redundancy when I play against my opponent because Bonfire, Witch, Ash, Wanted, they are all gathered to the same purpose of searching or setting original. By letting Populus go through, you might actually punish your opponent redundancy and still stopping them with the entrap that you have at your disposal. Anyways, normal summon Ash. I have Troll, I'm not gonna stop it anyways. Populus effect, chain roll. And now my opponent goes Ash effect. And I'm very inclined to stop this with Ash, because it makes sense. This is a standard line that you're gonna see post Troll and Lockbird. This combo does not play around Nibiru. So, in my opinion, it should have went Linkuribo anyways. You go Linkuribo, put Populus in the spell and trap zone, they use Sanke-Eyes, tribute itself and Populus in order to special summon Oak, summon back, and then Oak and Linkuribo in order to go into Flamberge. I think that's the most correct way to perform this combo. Anyways, he doesn't do it, so that gets punished by my Ash Blossom. It would be still punished by my Ash Blossom, but now I have an Impermanence, and my opponent has Original. And after he goes Populus to put itself in the spell and trap zone, he goes Original effect. Summon Oak. I guess, like, if he had a Linkuribo, would play around this Impermanence and would try to keep the Kirin in my hand, in his hand, I mean. In this case, if I use Impermanence, he's supposed to use the Kirin and then go Hita, summon Ash, because the Oak would resolve, then go Princess, summon back, go Umblow Whale. And Umblow Whale with the Princess in the graveyard, it's not that bad. Anyways, goes Oak. Obviously, I chain Impermanence here because I don't see any Linkuribo in the graveyard, and I don't know what my opponent is playing, so it might be on the Fire King stuff, it might also be a pure decklist. He says okay, I guess Wisdom was chasing him, but he was too fast, so he did not realize that the Kirin would be actually nice in this position. Now let's go back to my turn. So normal Sanke-Eyes. My opponent has to stop me, so I genuinely agree with using this Ash, because two bodies on the board are a big of a threat, especially in this position. Fortunately for him, it actually does go through, and I don't have an extender to punish him, so I just enter in battle phase and attack his Oak. He uses Original. Again, bodies on the board are a very big threat, so at that point I will have to use Ash Blossom on the Original. He has Witch, Droll, and Kirin. The Witch doesn't do anything if he doesn't play the second Original, so this Witch is gonna most likely set Wanted, and it does so. He discards the Kirin, set the Wanted, normal summon, Droll to turn it into Linkuribo just to have more damage, I guess. And then he goes with those two into SP, and SP to banish the troll in my graveyard. To be honest, doesn't really matter what he banishes, but like definitely the troll was not a good choice. He's doing that just to avoid me to go for a Celine line in a close future, but that doesn't really matter because if I reach Celine, that means that I'm winning. I would have probably choose a different target, but again, doesn't really matter in this position. My top deck, original is super good. So, normal summon Arvata, attack over SP, main phase 2, use original, tribute Arvata, and then special summon Oak effect to special summon Ash from the graveyard or banish pile. Use Ash effect, Populus effect, and now I'm gonna add tech. I mean, it's still a tech right now. Not a lot of people are playing it. Divine Temple of the Sanke-Eye. If you guys would like more information about Divine Temple of the Sanke-Eye in Fire King, feel free to read my article on the card in Fire King on metaduelist.com. So I add Divine Temple effect in order to scale the Flamberge Dragon. And then I use Ash and Populus in order to go into Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. And then I use the effect of Populus to put back Arvata in the spell and trap zone. I think this is good actually, because I want to have the Arvata in the spell and trap zone in the future anyways. So like doing it with Populus, I think it's a good play, or I thought so. Use Oak, tribute itself and Flamberge in order to special summon Ash. Then I can use Sunlight Wolf effect and Flamberge effect. I add back Ash Blossom in my hand using the Sunlight Wolf, and my opponent chains Wanted, I guess. I don't know why I did that, but like, doesn't matter. I think it's fine. Maybe he was trying to prevent me from going... what? Nothing really. Anyways, go Linkuriboh, use Sunlight Wolf and Linkuriboh to summon Dark, use Dark effect to summon Is the Bellstar in order to set Wanted, so I have a follow-up for next turn guaranteed. Use Witch and Dark in order to special summon Promethean effect in order to special summon back the Flamberge, and here is a technical play that you guys have to know for this fire format. You can use Flamberge to scale your opponent monster in order to summon them during your turn. So I'm gonna have the Arvata that's gonna be special summoned by the Divine Temple, or I can also special summon a Spiritual Net because the Divine Temple works for both, and also I have Sanke-Eye Flamberge that is gonna special summon SP or Arvata. Like, this is broken. Use Princess and Populus in order to special summon Hita. Use Hita in order to special summon Ash. Go Linkuriboh, go SP, and with SP I'm gonna banish the Wanted in his graveyard in order to not give him follow-up. As you can see, he has the Witch, right? And we already made sure of the fact that he's playing only one original. The way that he's gonna combo the next turn is it was gonna be using Wanted in order to shuffle back the original, draw one card, and then reset the original with Witch, which is a pressure play, right? Because he's gonna get a draw on top of the draw phase draw, and then Witch is gonna set the original. I don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna just SP banish it. And then I'm gonna turn those two into Apollousa. Apollousa is a very good negation in this position. If he has a normal summon Ash, normal summon Oak, you already used Oak, so it doesn't matter. Normal summon Ash or using Witch, I can stop it instantly with Apollousa. And also my Sanke-Eye Flamberge is gonna special summon SP right now from his spell and trap zone. Anyways, I use Flamberge to special summon the SP. He goes the Bellstar, discarding probably the best top deck that you might ask in this position. Sanke-Eye Flamberge. He's gonna chain block it with Witch in order to dodge my Apollousa, which gives him extra body. If I was not playing correctly my previous turn, I would have 100% lost this game. So, special summon Arvata, sets wanted, special summon Ash and Oak. Obviously I'm letting the witch go, because there is no reason to negate it. Special summon Ash and Oak, and then he's gonna use Chellink 1 Oak target Populus, Chellink 2 Ash. Obviously I'm gonna negate the Ash because I saw the Kirin in his graveyard, which means that he was gonna add the Ponix. The Ponix is not happening. And if I was him, to be honest, I would have went Ash, Chellink 1, Oak, Chellink 2. Because I am gonna stop the Oak, but Ash adding Ponix is insanely broken in this position. Like, I would have for sure went for Ash, Chellink 1. Anyways, summon Populus, Populus effect. Okay, now here is the thing. We saw that he doesn't play multiple origin. He also does not play Subversion, because Subversion can be set with Witch, and he would definitely set Subversion with Witch if I'm not using Apollos on it. So there is no Subversion, there is not Original. This guy is playing the Divine Temple of Sanke-Eyes in his main deck as well. So I'm gonna negate it 100%. The Sanke-Eyes field spell puts a lot of pressure on the board and also increases the attack of each level 1 fire monster by 1100. That shit is not happening in my town. So Arvata effect, I'm gonna pop the Flamberge. I went for Arvata over Apollosa because I wanna summon back my level 1s and also I have a Linkuribo. Summon back Oak, summon back Ash, Ash Oak, add Ponix with Ash. And then Oak is gonna add the Populus in my hand. The opponent is gonna special summon Anima. I don't wanna use this SP. I'll be real with you guys. I don't think using this SP is ever correct. Why? Because this SP forces my opponent to go to battle phase. He is gonna be forced to go to battle phase at some point. He has to go to battle phase because he cannot push with a Charmer because of my SP. He cannot go Dark, he cannot go Ita, because this is gonna be checked by my SP and he has to enter in battle phase for that. But if he enters in battle phase, then I'm fine. I don't care anymore. I have a way better follow-up than he has. Anyway, special summon Anima. I have to prevent this Anima because also Apollosa is forcing my opponent to go to battle phase. So I'm just gonna use the Princess. Princess effect is gonna target my Ash, is gonna target his Anima, and then I'm gonna chain Linkuribbon on my Ash in order to not lose body presence. He enters in battle phase, attack Linkuribo with Ash. Obviously I have to use Linkuribo. Then he's gonna attack with Oak my Apollosa, 100 damage, cheap damage, and then he's gonna attack with the Witch my SP, and then he's gonna use Ash and Witch to go into Hita. Hita target my Flamberge, Flamberge target his own Flamberge, use Oak. I don't know why I did use Oak, maybe I'm missing something. But like, this is the last spot in which I can use Ash Blossom, might as well, so he loses a body. And then he scoops. I don't know why I did that. Let's move to game 2. I'm gonna show my opponent hand, because like it's his turn. My hand is... holy, if this hand is bad. So I have Garonix, Flamberge, Nibiru, Droll, and Ponix. And he has Talent, Wanted, Droll, Witch, and Populus. Normal summon Populus effect. Adds Divine Temple. Obviously I'm gonna use Droll. He chains Wanted to add another Witch, which is okay. Then use Talent, look at my hand. It's gonna take the Nibiru out of my hand. And then he's gonna use Divine Temple to scale the Sanke-Eyes Flamberge Dragon. Use Populus to go into Linkuribo, Populus to put itself in the spell and trap zone, send the Populus back in the graveyard in order to special summon Witch. Sets Original. And now I use original tribute Linkuribo in order to special summon Oak. Oak effect is gonna special summon back the Populus. Then it's gonna use Witch and Populus to go Masquerena, use Oak effect to tribute itself and Flamberge in order to special summon another copy of Ash, use Flamberge to special summon back Oak and Populus. And then it's gonna use those two to make SP. That was super weird. When I saw this happening, that was super weird. And then using SP and another body to make Promethean. Promethean is gonna summon back Flamberge. Flamberge put back SP and use those two to make a Link 4. If it does this, he plays another target for Masquerena. Like he plays another monster that he can summon using Masquerena. That was super weird. Anyways, top deck Veiler, normal summon Ponix. He changed the field spell, summon SP, then uses Droll, and then IP effect into Unicorn. Obviously, it's not gonna co-link because he's under Droll, and then use Unicorn effect to spin back my Ponix. Now there is only one play I can do. I'm just gonna show you guys that I know it. Like you can use Island, second effect to special summon the Garonix from your end. Anyways, he discarded Witch with Unicorn, which prompts actually the effect of Witch, because Witch has also a second effect. During your opponent turn, if this card is sent to the his owner end or field to the graveyard, you can send one card from your end or field to the graveyard, and if you do special summon this card, which is actually a nice effect. Witch effect in order to set the wanted, so he also has a better follow-up. Use Highland, special summon Garonix, Garonix effect pops Ponix, scoop. That's it. Let's move on to game 3. Okay, in game 3, there is something that we should talk about. This is another technical play. This is gonna be a question for you guys. Now take your time, think about it, stop the video. How would you guys start this end? Now, a lot of people would say normal summon Arbata, then special summon Witch in order to play around Veiler, in order to play around Ash on Origin. But what about impermanence? What if I tell you that there is a way in order to check everything? If you go special summon Witch, Ash, and your opponent impermanence to Witch, then you can normal summon Oak, and then use Oak's second effect in order to special summon Sanke-Eyes, Populus, Original. Okay, that's full combo right there. And what happens if your Witch resolves and it doesn't have impermanence? Then you normal summon Arbata, because after you check the impermanence, because you have Oak to normal summon, then you can normal summon Arbata in order to check your opponent possible Ash Blossom on Original. Anyways, I did this incorrectly because I didn't think about how to play around impermanence with Oak. So I normal summon Arbata because I just thought about it. I just thought that it was fine. And if he had imperm, I would just pass. And I had Arbata to Entrops, and I would be okay. But this was definitely incorrect, and it was a mistake on my side. Just remember, these technical plays are the small things that makes a huge difference sometimes. And this is one of them. So, normal summon Arbata, go Witch, pitch Oak, use Witch effect. He doesn't have impermanence. I didn't get punished. Be better, my brother, be better. Anyways, it was definitely a mistake on my side. Set Original, and then we use Original, tribute the Witch, summon Ash, Populus. Populus effect in order to search for the field spell, and here I do another mistake, because during this Ironman, and you guys might call me crazy, I was only playing one Populus. Let's say that I forgot about the fact that I had one Populus in my deck. So when I use Divine Temple, I scaled the wrong monster. I should have scaled the oak in my graveyard, because the Divine Temple can put in the spell and trap zone even monsters from your graveyard. I did not do that, so I did an abnormal mistake. I put Flamberge. Why is this a big mistake? Because my Snake-Eye Ash is dead, and I cannot use Snake-Eye Ash to send Flamberge in the graveyard, because I don't have another target. And you cannot use Snake-Eye Ash to summon another copy of Snake-Eye Ash, and go Linkuriboh with Populus, try to use Snake-Eye Ash, summon Ash. My opponent catches that this was obviously an illegal play. I realized that this was an illegal play at the time. So I go back, and I don't have another monster to summon. My opponent asks me if I have another Snake-Eye to summon. I tell him I don't have it in my deck, and I don't have it in my hand. I wish I had it, but like I don't. So I have to use all of the monsters on my body in order to summon Promethean Princess. Now, a combo that was playing around Nibiru, now suddenly does not play anymore around Nibiru. Special summon Promethean, summon Oak. Oak effect to summon back Populus. Use Oak in order to summon another Ash. Flamberge effect summons to back. Use those two to make Wolf. My opponent does not have any Nibiru. Just be better, my brother. This game was played horribly on my side. So use Populus effect, put Arvada in the spell and trap zone. Use two level 1s to make IP. Use Wolf to add back Flamberge. Use Linkuriboh in the graveyard to summon it back by tributing the Snake-Eye Ash. I mean, the end board is not bad. The combo was so wrong. It starts with Soul Release. It banishes all my level 1s. I mean, almost all my level 1s. You can keep one. Doesn't really matter, because like Flamberge cannot resolve anymore. Banish my original for follow-up. The Promethean Princess, that's a negation. I mean, it's an interruption, not a negation. Then he goes Bonfire. I say okay. He goes Populus effect. I say okay. Populus effect on the board. I just chain Divine Temple. He chains Cosmic on my Arvada. He adds his own Divine Temple. Adding Divine Temple in this position prompts basically my IP to be used. Because after I use IP, I don't have a Princess, so I'm not gonna summon in the future. That means that this Divine Temple is just gonna be a fodder for his own Snake-Eyes monsters. So use IP, chain link 1, Wolf, chain link 2 SP, banish to Populus, and then with the Wolf I add back follow-up. He uses the field spell to scale the Snake-Eye Ash, and then uses original, which gets hit by Ash the Bloss. And then he goes normal summon Arvada, entering battle phase. Now this game is over. This game is definitely over. It's not for the triple tactical talent in my hand, it's because I just normal summon Ash under Wolf, chain link 1 Ash, chain link to Wolf, I add back the Ash in my hand. If an Ash stopped him the previous turn, it's gonna stop him the next turn, usually. Like, as a thought process. And then my Ash resolves. I get... what do I get here? Doesn't matter what I get, because I can just go Princess, attack over Arvada. And from there is no much you can do. Anyways, normal Ash, chain link to Wolf. Oh, I know what I get here actually. Here I get Ponyx. 100%. 100% I get Ponyx here. But yeah. And also, yeah, the second Populus would definitely come in handy in this situation as well. But I would get the Ponyx, because then I would use Ash effect to attempt to special summon Flamberge, and if he negates by pitching a fire in his hand, if he does have a fire, but he does not, he has Delta. If he had a fire, he would pitch the fire in his hand, and then I could crush Sunlight Wolf into Arvada in order to special summon Ponyx from my hand. Ponyx effect is gonna get the continuous is gonna place the field spell. And then after that, I can use Ponyx Tribute to summon Linkuriboh, and then I can use the field spell to pop my Flamberge. the Fire King Field Spell Island to pop my Flamberge, and at that point I will have an Ash and Ponix in my graveyard to reborn as a thought process. So even though Populus would be good in this position, it was not needed, the second copy. And also it would not be needed if I was taking it in account and scale the Oak with the Divine Temple, which I didn't think about. Well, that's about it. Now let's move on to match 2. Okay, so match 2, game 1, I lose the dice roll. And my hand is, again, amazing. Double Impermanence, Troll, Bonfire, and Wanted. My opponent starts with Hornet, Special Summon a token, turn it into Kagari, adds back drones. And then he's gonna go original, I guess he's gonna chain, and he does the Hornet drones, Special Summon Ash, and here, even though I usually don't like to use Impermanence Veiler on Snake-Eye Ash, he committed a lot of resources in order to have it on the board. So, that said, I will definitely stop it. He gets Impermanence. And after that, he goes normal summon Jet, turn the token and itself into Formula draws. I saw that he's playing Sky Striker cards, so I don't want him to draw Engage and being able to use it. So at that point, I'm just gonna use Troll. He's gonna use Jet, pitch the Widow Anchor. That's a very strong card to pitch. Use Jet and Dash and Formula to make Princess. This is gonna get it 100% with another Imper. Then he uses Trust in order to set DDG. And DDG says this turn any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. And he passes. Now, there is a way to 100% win this game. I will give you guys time to think about it. You can stop the video right now. I will show you the graveyard. This is his graveyard. Okay. This is my graveyard. Okay. The set is DDG, and we can assume that the set that our opponent has is Impermanence or another Anchor. I don't think it's another Anchor because this version usually only plays only one. It's very rare to see multiple Widow Anchor in this deck. So I would rather prefer playing around Impermanence. And in fact, his set is Impermanence. So there is a way to win at 100% this game. Because after you use the original and add the Witch, your opponent is supposed to use DDG. It has a big misplayer in my opinion. Aditya is actually supposed to shotgun the DDG, because if instead of Wanted I had the Witch, I would start with the Witch Pitch Veiler. And then you just gifted the Witch to me for no reason. And I will show you now the solution to this path, because what I did was add Ash, use Ash, get Impermanence, and scoop. But the solution is what I'm gonna show it to you right now. The first thing to do is using Wanted in draw phase to see if he actually uses DDG, because if he doesn't use DDG, we won the game on the spot. So let's assume that he actually uses DDG. Then enter in the main phase and use Bonfire. But Bonfire is not supposed to add Ash, it's supposed to add Populus. Why is it Populus? Because Populus can search for the field spell of Snake-Eye, and the field spell of Snake-Eye is gonna scale a Snake-Eye, which will make my Witch live under DDG. So we go Populus effect, special summon itself. This has to get Imper, because my opponent knows from the match 1 that I'm playing the field spell of Snake-Eye, which is gonna make my Diabellster live, so he has to Imper. So let's assume that this is getting Imper, which would be the best solution for my opponent to stop this, like would be actually the best play. Normal summon Baylor and Populus into Hita. We can see that from his graveyard he has Sanke-Eyes, and then we can use Hita to summon Ash from his graveyard. Use Ash in order to grab a copy of Ponyx, and then enter in battle phase. We're gonna crush the Sanke-Eyes, which is gonna get banished. Why is that so important actually to banish his Ash? It's very important because he has the original and he has only one Sanke-Eye in the graveyard. So actually his original right now is gonna be dead if he is not gonna have any Sanke-Eye or Diablo in the graveyard. After that we can trigger Ponyx. Ponyx is gonna special summon itself in order to grab Sanctuary. Sanctuary effect is gonna put the Fire King Island. And now my Witch is live because I can just send the Sanctuary. So I'm gonna special summon Witch, send Sanctuary in order to set another Wanted. Go Linkuriboh using Ponyx, use Witch and Linkuriboh in order to special summon SP. SP is gonna banish his princess, and then SP and Hita will go into Apollo. This is a winning game state for me. So it's not gonna have any card on the board. His original is dead, and that's a win-win situation for me. But I didn't do that, so I went normal summon Ash, get Imp and scoop. Okay, so I go first. This is my end. I mean, my end is okay. I have also cross out, and I have one of every end trap, so I cannot stop Ash actually, which is actually hilarious. Use Wanted in the draw phase to check for Bell. Use Witch, pitch Witch, use Witch to set the original. Use original, special summon Sanke-Eyes. Sanke-Eyes adds Populus, Populus effect, chain draw. Now, I can stop this draw with my cross out. I don't want to though. I don't think it's incorrect to not stop the draw here, because I have already a guaranteed end board that's gonna lead on a Link 4 plus Flamberge plus IP. And if I stop the draw, I can still play around Nibiru, but like let's assume that he does not have if I stop the draw, like I can make a good end board, but then if he has Nibiru, then my end board is gonna be okay-ish at best, right? This way, if I don't stop the draw, I don't have to wonder about how to play around Nibiru, and I can use the cross-out to stop my opponent engine, which seemed very powerful when I went over it. I don't think both are incorrect way to think. I think just keeping the cross-out add more value to me, and also I had the talent in my deck, which means that even if he had the talent, I could stop the talent. I just felt like this was a proper play, to be honest, like a good play at best. Do I think that using cross-out on draw is bad? I don't think so. I think it's a reasonable play. Both the plays are fine in my opinion. So I don't use it because if he doesn't have another end trap, I can just use this for engine. Special summon Populus, go Linkuriboh, Populus scale in spell and trap zone, use Ash, tribute them, go Oak summon back Ash, use Oak in order to summon Flamberge, use Flamberge and Ash in order to summon IP, summon to level 1 back, use one of them and IP in order to make Princess, summon back the Flamberge, scale the IP, and then use the Princess and the other level 1 in order to make Amblow Whale. If I want to play around Super Poly, I can just turn the Amblow Whale into the Anantis, that's gonna banish itself and summon back itself and Flamberge, and I'm gonna put it in the middle, then I'm gonna set cross out and pass. I think this was a fine play. My opponent starts with Soul Release. That's a bad sign. It's not super horrible. My follow-up is bad though, because it's gonna banish the level 1 that I can summon back of Flamberge, and it's gonna banish my original. So it's gonna be bad for sure. Then he's gonna use the Divine Temple. I am gonna chain the Flamberge in order to summon IP. He's gonna chain Cosmic Cyclone on my Masquerena. I did not side Cosmic Cyclone for going first. That's a thing that I started to do after this Ironman, to side one copy of Cosmic Cyclone and also play the second Populus, I guess. So I didn't add the Cosmic Cyclone in my main deck post side. Hit the Masquerena, put Sanke-Eyes in the spell and trap zone, and then he sends the Divine Temple to the graveyard to summon Witch. I could use cross out here on Witch, or I can just wait for a Snake-Eye play. I know that he's gonna set original, and he doesn't have a wanted in the graveyard, so I'm just gonna use Ash Blossom on original and keep the cross out just in case. I'm gonna use Ash. I still think this is correct. I think it's a fine play. He enters in battle phase and crash. Now, every monster would have been game in this position, but I top decked another cross out because I would just use Highland, pop the monster in my hand, add the Ponyx, normal summon Ponyx. And then from there we have an Eta line into Ash, and that would be game on the spot. I didn't draw any monster, which is very sad in this position, so at that point I just use Flamberge, Scale Oak in the spell and trap zone, and then attack directly and set another cross out just in case. Now it's my opponent turn. He starts original, and here he does an abnormal misplay. That was a crazy play. Like, he's putting back Sanke-Eyes in order to add another copy of Sanke-Eyes when he should have just put back the Abelaster and add Oak. Why does that matter? First of all, Oak is a +1 on the board, and also if I add Impermanence, he would lose anyway. But like, adding Oak here actually plays around cross out because I don't have an Oak in my deck. Which, in my opinion, adding Oak is 100% correct no matter what. But like, him adding Ash actually gave me a win condition for no reason. He scoops, and we go to game 3. Now, game 3 goes first again. He normal summons Ash. As I said, I don't like to stop Ash. If you start with normal summon Ash, that shit is going through. I don't care. My teammate was screaming to me during this time, actually. Like, they think that I'm crazy. I actually don't think I'm crazy. I actually think it's correct to not stop Ash. But they were screaming to me. Holy... That was crazy. I was laughing my ass. Anyways, normal summon Ash resolves. Goes Populus. Use Populus effect. Just to show you guys, he had Bonfire and he had Wanted. So, my read was actually okay. It's not actually my read. I actually don't like to do it, generally speaking. Anyways. Activates the field spell. Field spell put Flamberge in the spell and trap zone. Populus. He goes Wanted. Here you have to actually stop the Diabellstar. He's playing pure Snake-Eye, which means that if I'm not stopping this Diabellstar, he's gonna special summon Jet. He's gonna get a draw of the Wanted, because he's gonna have original in the graveyard, and also get a draw of Formula C. That's a +2 on the spot. So yeah, we stop Pot of Greed, basically. And also gives him different line also to go into Baron de Fleur, maybe a possible Savage. Like, I'm not risking it. I'm definitely not risking it. Like, he would go original, tribute Linkuriboh, summon Jet, use Jet and Black Witch in order to go into Savage. Are you gonna use Impermanence on Savage? And then he goes later on into Formula. He gets a draw of Wanted. Your Imperm is wasted, and he got to draw in the process. So you have to stop this with Impermanence. So Impermanence. Ash, Linkuriboh. Go Oak. Oak effect summons back Ash. Go SP. Those two into Promethean. Bro, this combo is sus. Holy. This combo is super sus. Anyways. It goes into Promethean. Promethean summons back Ash. Use those two into Umblow Whale. There is no way this was correct. There is no way this was actually how you are supposed to combo this end off. No IP in the spell and traps, not using the Flammage. Was trying maybe to respect an Nibiru. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Maybe he was trying to respect an Nibiru. But even then, there are better ways to respect an Nibiru, in my opinion. Anyways, he ended on Flamberge. He ended on Flamberge in the spell and trap zone in Umblow Whale. Now it's my turn. I start with normal summon Ash effect, which is not correct as well. I think the best play here is supposed to be start Bonfire, add Populus, and Populus special summon. If he has draw, then it's the same thing as normal summoning Ash. If he does not have a draw, then I can use then I can later on follow up with the normal summon Snake-Eye Ash to add Ponix, and Ponix Garunix Kirin. Kirin is actually super insane. Anyways, add Populus, activate Populus. It doesn't have draw, which I got punished for. Like, this is the kind of redundancy that we were talking about. I should have started with the Bonfire 100% in its position, because I would be the same position under draw, with just no Bonfire in my hand. Anyways, use Populus. He uses the field spell to summon Flamberge, and then Princess to pop my Populus. That's fine. I add a copy of the original. I don't use Populus because you can summon it back with Flamberge. I don't want that to happen. And on resolution, he uses different dimensional ground. Well, now I have to play through different dimensional ground. And I just chain Kirin. Kirin, pop my Flamberge, which is gonna prompt the Garunix. And from here, after I pop with Garunix, I have OTK. I didn't see the OTK, so you can stop the video again after I show you guys the graveyards. So this is the position. I have Flamberge, Populus, Impermanence in the graveyard, and Ponix banished. He has Promethean, Flamberge, and Divine Temple. His graveyard is like the only good cards are Umblow Whale, Black Witch, Little Knight, Linkuriboh, Oak that we do not use this turn. And you can stop the video. I'm gonna show you the solution right now. So the solution to OTK in this position after he resolved the DDG is this. So you use Kirin and Ash in order to go into Hita. Hita summons back from his graveyard the Umblow Whale. Use Umblow Whale to turn it into Zelanantis. And then use Hita and Garunix to go into Princess. Princess to summons back the Flamberge. Then we enter in battle phase. We use Zelanantis effect in order to clear 2 cards on our opponent board. And then we can attack for game. That was a simple line to OTK my opponent. I didn't see it, so I just went for what seemed an okay play. I just used Kirin and Ash to make Ita, which is correct, yeah. But I used Ita to summon his Oak from the graveyard. Used the Oak in order to summon Ponix. Use Ponix to grab a copy of Island. And then use Oak and Ita. Use Oak to summon Linkuriboh. Use Linkuriboh and Ita to summon Dark. Use Dark to ensure me follow-up to summon SP. Use Ponix and Dark to summon Promethean. Promethean effect summons back the Flamberge. And use Flamberge effect to put my opponent Flamberge in the spell and trap zone. Enter in battle phase. Attack with the Garunix that's boosted by 250 on Promethean, which is gonna prompt the activation of Umblow Whale, which is gonna pop my Flamberge, attack directly with SP, attack directly with Promethean. and use Promethean and Garonix to summon Nightmare Phoenix to co-link it with OSP so he can be destroyed by battle. Pitch the original in order to pop the Divine Temple. Draw a card. Is gonna be Wanted. Wanted adds Black Witch. Put back a Populus to add a copy of Ash. And then I can special summon the Abella Star by pitching a Fire King Island, set a copy of Wanted for more follow-up, use Wanted to draw any Nibiru, and use no, cannot be that. I think use SP and the Abel to summon another SP, use SP effect to banish my opponent Flamberge, use those two to make a ball. Like, this was a fine play in my book. It's not a bad play by any means, but I had OTK. So it's definitely a misplay. Checking my opponent banish, he has Flamberge, so he has no more Flamberge, no more SP, no more Princess if he plays only one. This version usually plays only one. So he's in a very bad position, except for the fact that he plays probably the second Flamberge. And looking at my opponent, and yes, Called by the Grave that he decided to not set the previous turn, which would have actually won him the game. Droll and Bonfire. He goes Bonfire for Populus, Populus effect, summon it, the Populus effect, I have to negate it with Apollos. Normal summon go into Phoenix, Phoenix effect, chaining to Populus, I negate it with Witch because it's free. Use Wanted to add the Witch. He throws Birch, but this Birch does absolutely nothing. He probably does not playing the second Promethean, as I spoiled you guys, but I don't think this version usually play the second Promethean. There is no Dark Line because I don't have a Dark in my graveyard. There is no Eta Line because I don't have a Fire in my graveyard. So this body does absolutely nothing for him. Now let's move to the last match of the Ironman, which is me against Lucas Sack. You guys probably already saw it on the DB Grinder channel, but there are some technical plays and also a line in which I could have actually OTK'd him that I would like to show you guys. So I win finally the dice roll, which is crazy. This is my end. I start with Populus normal summon. I think it's the best into draw. It's fine. Add Divine Temple. Use Divine Temple. Divine Temple to put the Ash in the spell and trap zone. I still think this is correct because then we can use original to send the Ash in order to special summon Oak. Use Oak effect to summon back the Ash. Use Ash effect to add Ponix. Use Oak effect, tribute itself and the field spell to special summon Flamberge. Use Flamberge and Ash in order to make Sunlight Wolf. Use Flamberge effect to special summon those two. Not under the Sunlight Wolf. Why? Because I don't want to add Flamberge from my graveyard to my end. And if Nibiru, I'm fine because I have Sanctuary and Ponix. Use those two to make the Little Chimera, and then use Sunlight Wolf in order to grab back the Oak as follow-up. Use those two to make Apollosa. Why did I make the Little Chimera? Because the Little Chimera is a very interesting card to give you a +1 in terms of body presence after you resolve Island and Garonix to pop the Arvada from your deck. If you wanna read about the Little Chimera and why I'm playing it with one example about how the +1 may actually matter in some game situations, you can read my article about the Little Chimera on metaduelist.com. in the OCG or TCG spicy deck options. Make a Polla, activate Sanctuary. Now I have two choices here. I can pop the Oak in my hand because I want to set the Bonfire, so I don't want to add a copy of Ash. So I will set the Bonfire as bluff 100%. So I can pop the Oak in my hand in order to add Garonix. And then I can go Garonix effect, pop Arvata. And then I can go Arvata, Chelling Quan, targeting Doolittle, and then Ponix, Chelling to special summon itself. And then Later on, when I go a princess into a link 4, I'm gonna have an extra body, and I can use those 2 body in order to summon an SP, or I can end on a Zelanantis under Apollos. This time I actually saw this line, so I just decided to go for the Zelanantis play. Use Highland, pop Onyx, add Garonix. Garonix effect is gonna pop Arbata. Arbata effect is gonna be using auto special summon Chimera. Chimera and the fodder in order to go into Promethean. Promethean and then Populus to put Arbata in the spell and trap zone, I guess. And then summon back the Flamberge, and then use Promethean and Garonix in order to summon Humble Whale. Now, if I had the extra body on the board, I could go SP. I just decided to not go for it. And here there is a big misplay. Here I thought, like, we were discussing about the possible lines in which my opponent can maybe go for a possible hit in order to summon back my Ash, blah blah blah. I think this was incorrect. I think we should have used a Flamberge in order to put Sunlight Wolf in the spell and trap zone, because it's free, and you are not gonna ever reborn Sunlight Wolf if you do something. I think having an extra body as Sunlight Wolf would have helped and improved a lot. My board state, as you will see from the next plays that Sako is gonna make. Anyways, this was definitely a mistake. Then I turned the Humble Whale into Zelanantis, and then I set the Bonfire as a bluff and I pass. Onyx during the standby phase to add itself back. It's a mandatory effect, so you have to resolve it even if you forget. Use Cosmic Cyclone on my island. If I had SP, it would have been a much better position, but to be honest, we evaluated the position. We were like, we are fine if we summon Zelanantis under Apollo, and also protects the Apollosa by battle phase, because Zelanantis during the battle phase can pop equal to the number of, up to the number of co-linked monster you control, and we control 2 co-linked monster that are Apollosa and Zelanantis. Anyways, Lucas is gonna fire the Cosmic Cyclone on my island. I'm gonna chain the Flamberge in order to special summon back Arbata. Use Highland effect in order to pop. Here, there are some plays that I can take in consideration. First of all, I can just use Arbata in order to special summon Dolittle. That's something that I can actually do, because then my Promethean is gonna prompt the activation of Garonix. I didn't like it. I didn't like it because it seems like a sequential line. A sequential line is usually bad in my opinion when your opponent is trying to break your board. Having sequential lines, it's not something that you really wanna have. It's not bad. It's definitely something that I could have done. I could just special summon Doolittle Chimera using Arbata and just wait for him to special summon and then use the Promethean. It's not a bad play. I think it's just easier to play around. So I rather prefer wasting the pop of Kirin and trigger Garonix and trigger Arbata in order to special summon Doolittle Chimera, use Garonix. He chains Kirin to pop Arbata, and then I send my own Kirin, and then he triggers his Garonix in hand. That was very good, because he wants me to pop with Kirin his Kirin. That's not gonna happen, but like he wanted to. To be honest, I should have popped my Ash. To be honest, but like, anyways, I'm using Kirin. I'm thinking to pop. I'm not popping. I summon Arbata. I wanted to summon Arbata because having an early negation would then be better in my opinion than having the pop of Kirin and then the negation. The sequence like did not add up in my mind, so I didn't like it. That's why I prefer to commit the Arbata before him starting his plays. Then he goes Garonix. Garonix effect, I negate with Arbata because I'm scared of a possible chain block Onyx in hand. I don't want that to happen. Pop the Doolittle Chimera, Doolittle Chimera chilling 1, Humble Whale chilling 2, and after I pop Garonix, I add a copy of Kirin. Now I don't care if I have to use Promethean at any point. It's gonna try to force the Promethean, which will avoid me to be able to use Nibiru, but that's not the case because I added back Kirin with Doolittle Chimera. Doolittle Chimera is fucking broken. Normal summon Ashash effect, I don't care. He goes Populus, Populus effect, I don't care. He adds Divine Temple scales Oak, and then he uses Populus to make Linkuribo, Populus effect to scale itself back, and then he uses Ash in order to summon the Snake Eye Flamberge from his end. This forces my Princess, because if I don't use Princess, it's gonna use Flamberge in order to put Princess in my spell and trap zone, so I have to use it. I'm not gonna pop Arvata, because the moment I pop Arvata, this is gonna prompt on his side a possible Ita line in order to reborn my Arvata, and actually OTK me. Then you would say Nash, but then you can just go Kirin Nibiru. Yes, but like his Oak is still full value. Like his Oak is gonna have a lot of value. What I wanna do, what I'm trying to do, is delaying the activation of Nibiru as much as possible for him to waste resources in his extra deck or tools to OTK me. So this is gonna prompt my Princess pop Garunix. I'm not gonna pop Arvata. Then he goes Flamberge summons back Ash and Populus. Use Populus and Linkuribo in order to go Ita. I have nothing in my graveyard that's worth, so I let that go. He summons my Wolf. Okay, now you would think Nash, Nibiru. No, why do I need to Nibiru? Nash, but what if he summons Apollosa? Then what? How does he OTK me if he summons Apollosa with just Snake Eye, Ash, Kirin and Apollosa? There are not enough bodies. That's not a threat at all. If he summons Apollosa, he just pressed the surrender button, to be honest. So this can never be Apollo. I don't have any dark in the graveyard, so there is no dark line. What I'm waiting for, if he summons Princess, then I will Nibiru him because he has Arvata in the graveyard. That's it. And this is gonna tell me also if he plays double Princess or one Princess. Anyways, goes Wolf and Ash, summons Princess. I have to go Kirin, pop my Princess, and then Link 1 Ponix, Link 2 Nibiru just to have one more body on the board. And then he goes Field Spell, summon back Oak effect, summons back. Yes, I mean, Link 2 token, Oak into IP Ash into Princess. So now I know that he plays double Princess. Use Princess effect, summon back Kirin. Crash the Kirin, which is actually a good play. Summon Arvata. And pop, attack my Ponix, and then attacks with the Bestower. And he passes. Standby phase, I add back Ponix, and now I use Original, put back my Flamberge at the copy of Ash. Remember guys, I'm only playing one Populus in this deck. When I was playing this Ironman, I was testing one Populus. I added the second one. I just had to make sure if you have to play the second one or not. I don't think it is mandatory to play the second one, but it comes up in long games. Anyways, so a dash, put Flamberge back, normal summon Oak targeting Populus. He says okay, then he goes Field Spell to summon my Ash, summons Ash effect, add Ponix. I think I'm putting myself in a very bad, like, I win this game, theoretically speaking. It's like, I'm putting myself in weird positions right now. This is definitely not being played optimally once you see that I'm gonna use Kirin on my Populus. Use Kirin, he says okay, use Kirin, use Garunix, Link 1, Populus, Link 2, put Wolf in my spell and trap zone, Garunix pops my own Kirin effect, he stops it with Arvat. No, I chain block with Ponix, so Kirin, Link 1, Ponix, Link 2, and then he has to stop it with Arvat. It's not a bad play, could have been played differently. Like, to be honest, like I was discussing with my teammate, it was Luca, And I really wanted to go Oak Effect to attempt to summon Flamberge and force the Arbat. But he didn't like it, we discussed, yara yara. So we went just for this grind line that went -2 in terms of board presence that I didn't really like. Pop his Ash with the Kirin. Then he goes Garonix effect. Then he goes Princess effect in Chilling 2. Pop Mayok. Summons Garonix and use Arvada to Reborn. I don't care. Okay, so he summons Kirin. Uses Kirin. Chain Ponix. I negate the Ponix because it's free. Pop my own Ponix. With Kirin he pops my Garonix. Summoning back the Ponix anyways using Kirin because I negated the Ponix with Arbata. I just summon Bestower in Link 1 on Arbata and Garonix. And then Arbata and Ponix are being chained. It's gonna be Arbata Link 1 on Chimera, Ponix Link 2. After that I go Princess, summon Oak. Oak effect repeat itself and the Sunlight Wolf in order to summon Flamberge. And from here, I will show you guys my graveyard, my opponent graveyard, and basically everything is known. If you want, you can stop the video to figure out the OTK. Did I find the OTK? It was a very complicated position. I did not see OTK on the spot because I did not add the Zelanantis in my extra deck, but there is a simple way to OTK. Remember that I'm playing double Promethean in my extra deck because for this OTK you will need double Promethean because I put myself in a very weird spot. But I do have the double Promethean. I'm just gonna show you guys the graveyards and then you can stop the video and think about the possible line. So this is Lucas Sacco graveyard. There is nothing that matters actually, I mean, except for the fact that like I already used almost everything. The only thing that might matter might be Linkuribo. Yes, a big Flamberge, the Princess was already used, so it doesn't really matter at that point. And my graveyard, nothing really worth it, to be honest. Except for the fact that I have the level 1s to be able to use the Flamberge effect. Now, let me show you guys the OTK. The OTK goes as follows. Use the effect of Flamberge on my opponent Kirin. So I put Kirin in the spell and trap zone. So it's gonna have just Promethean and Ponix. Use the Doolittle Chimera and Flamberge to summon my second Promethean. Use Flamberge to summon back Oak and Ash. Use Ash and Promethean to summon the Raging Phoenix. Use Raging Phoenix and Oak to summon the Ita, and then use Ita to summon the Flamberge from the graveyard of my opponent. Enter in battle phase, attack with Ita my opponent Ponix, then crush the Promethean with my opponent Promethean, which is gonna trigger my Phoenix in the graveyard, Raging Phoenix, and it's gonna gain 2700 attack. And that's basically OTK. Attack directly with Flamberge Dragon, attack directly with Raging Phoenix. That's the OTK. Very simple and straightforward. But I didn't see it. So this is more like me roasting myself right now. I love it. I fucking love it. So I used Flamberge in order to put Promethean in the spell and trap zone. Use Doolittle and Flamberge in order to summon Ita. Use Flamberge effect in order to special summon back Populus and Ash. Use Ash effect in order to add a copy of Ash. Again, I don't have the second Populus because this would have been OTK even if I had the second Populus, because I would be able to summon the Populus and then literally enter in battle phase after I use Ita. Okay. But again, we live, we learn. Anyways, use Eta, summon my opponent Flamberge, use Promethean and Dash in order to summon Raging Phoenix, use Raging Phoenix and Populus in order to summon Phoenix, Phoenix effect in order to pop my opponent field spell, and here you would say, Nash, why did you link away your Raging Phoenix? Because if he uses Linkuribo, I actually have game. So, cause I couldn't figure out a line to OTK, I was like, maybe I can trick him, because it's the only line I was able to see. It's a trick line. It's a trick line. So basically, if he uses Linkuribo, he loses the game. Because if I enter in battle phase, attack with Eta the Ponix, uses Linkuribo, I attack Linkuribo with Eta, he uses the effect of Linkuribo, I crush my Eta, which will trigger my Phoenix, and then that's game. That's literally game. But to be honest, I took too much time to figure out this line, which made Lucas Sacco be able to see what I was trying to do. And also, it's very sus to link away your Raging Phoenix, to be honest. Attack with Eta the Ponix. He let that go. Attack with Phoenix the Kirin. Crash. Use Raging Phoenix, boosted, attack, and then attack with Flamberge directly. I mean, to be honest, also the sequence was wrong here, right? Because I was not supposed to attack with Eta, I was supposed to attack with Flamberge before, but like, no, doesn't matter, because I entered in battle step. So if he had to use Linkuribo, should have been in battle step. Because guys, remember, Linkuribo cannot be used on replays of attacks. So if my opponent declares an attack on one of my monsters, and then I use Linkuribo, and then he redeclares the attack, you cannot use Linkuribo effect. That's super important. Because redeclaration of an attack is not a declaration of an attack. Does it make sense to you? I don't care if it does. That's how Konami ruled it out. So just follow what I said. Okay, just trust me. Okay, just trust me. Anyways, it's not game. So Phoenix and Eta to make SP. SP banishes Garonix. Now he has literally nothing. He has Garonix banished. His Flamberge is on my board, and he already used both the Promethean. I have nothing to be able to special summon in my opponent's turn, so his Promethean is also dead. Yes, and he already used Eta as well, and he has no Dark. This is a won game. I could have OTK'd him if I was able to see the line. I wasn't able to see it, but it's still 100% win. Like, he has no way to push. Literally no way to push. He's just scrambling bad right now. So, it's his turn, he top decks Bonfire, which is usually a good draw. He goes Ponix at the back during the standby phase. I should also use my Ponix to add the back during the standby phase. We were just discussing what I should have done, so I actually forgot for a second. So, normal Summonage, that does nothing. Populus does nothing. He also used Oak, so there is also an Oak in his graveyard. That means that Ash second effect is not viable. Use Populus effect. He doesn't. He does have the Superversion. So here I was thinking, what am I getting punished? So we know his entire end basically, because we know the Ponix and we know the Sanctuary, because the Sanctuary was added in my turn. The Ponix was added during his standby phase, and he just added the Superversion. There is literally no punish for me. So when he goes field spell, blah blah blah, I let that go. I don't care. He adds Kirin, which does nothing, and then he uses Superversion on the Flamberge on the board. He has no game. Like, I have no Dark in my graveyard, so there is no Dark line. He already used Eta. He already used Oak. He doesn't play second Flamberge because it's a Fire King version. The Garonix is banished. So if I just chain SP, banish the Flamberge, which are gonna come back on my board the next turn, I won on the spot 100%. Which what happens? So I just go SP, banish itself and Flamberge, because we calculated that there were no way he could game. the max that he can do is actually 45, because he can use Kirin on Populus, and then he can attack directly, and it's 35, sorry. And then he can use Linkuribo just to make it 35, but that's it. He has nothing else. I let everything go. 1500, Linkuribo. Use Populus, doesn't matter, to scale the Oak. Then use both to go into SP. Banish my Garonix. Flamberge and SP come back on my board. I just enter in battle phase attack. SP uses Ponix, I don't care. Attack. He really wants me to do something because he wants to be able to use his SP. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna attack. He wanted to move the game, and that's what I did. Now, game 2. Game 2, normal summon Ash. Ash adds Populus. Populus effect. Populus effect is gonna grab the Divine Temple. Use this into Linkuribo. Populus is gonna scale. Use Ash in order to summon Flamberge. Summon Black Witch by discarding from the end. Set original. Don't really care. Goes original. Summon Ponix. Activate Island. Then he activates Island. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Because yeah, like we know that he has the Divine Temple. So he goes Field Spell, Pop Ponix, adds Garonix, Garonix effect, sends Arvata, Arvata effect, summon back Ponix, use Garonix and Ponix to make IP, IP and Linkuribo into Princess, Princess effect, summons back Arvata, use the effect of Flamberge to put IP in the Spell and Traps, and use those two to summon Wolf. Summons to back using Flamberge. Use Wolf effect to add back Garonix. Interesting. That was a fine play, because it's a fine play to add back Garonix. I like it. Then use this to go into Anima, and I'm like, I never saw this. But then after it goes into Unicorn, I realized what's going on. Unicorn shuffles back the island. Use and draws one card because it's co-linked with Anima. Then he goes Apollosa with 2 materials. Activates Field Spell to put the Flamberge in the Spell and Trap zone. That was insane, to be honest. I liked this combo a lot, but my combo is bad. I liked this combo a lot, to be honest. And also, if you wanna read about what this combo plays around, you can just go on my article. My article explains how this combo plays around Super Poly, Tactics, Cosmic Cyclone. You can read it on my article. It's a very small article, but it also shows the combo. I also posted the link of me performing the combo. Obviously, the shout out to Luca Sacco. If you wanted to keep this hidden gem, that's not up. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the game. So let's proceed. Boom, set 1 and pass. I start with the Field Spell, because this is gonna prompt something, maybe. Field Spell goes through, puts Flamberge in the Spell and Trap zone, normal summon Ash, chains Apollosa. I'm not chaining Kirin. I want him actually to Apollosa my Kirin. He asks actually if I'm chaining. I said no, I want him to Apollosa it. I don't even know why I did that. I don't think you are supposed to stop my Kirin. He's scared of a possible battlefield. Like, you actually want me to enter in battlefields. I don't know why you would stop it. Anyways. So, special summons Witch. Pitch the second Ash in my hand. This is gonna prompt his Field Spell. I chain Cosmic. He chains Impermanence on my Witch, which makes sense. Then he goes on resolution Kirin. Kirin to pop Arbata and then the Garonix in his hand. Garonix effect is gonna pop the Kirin. Kirin effect, summon Servata, pop my Flamberge, but this prompts my Divine Temple in order to summon his IP from the spell and trap zone. Now, here, maybe there is a way to play through these, like in the main phase. To be honest, I just went for... I don't think there is, to be honest. I will be real with you, I don't think there is a way to play through this in the main phase, because he still has Arbata, and he still has Princess. So if I enter in battle phase, I clear most of the problems, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I will do. I just enter in battle phase. Sanke-Eyes Ash is 1900 attack, because of my field spell. The boost of the field spell is broken. Attack over Arvata, take 100, use Arvata effect in order to summon back Ponix. Masquerena, attack over Kirin. Linkuriboh, blah blah blah. Use Witch to attack over Apollosa. He tried to use Linkuriboh, which he cannot. This has as a precedent the Water Washer Prankids scenario, or OTK, or whatever it is, or whatever it was actually. Just check for Water Washer on the Yu-Gi-Oh database, and you will see that your opponent cannot use Linkuriboh when you are in battle step in between attacks. You have the priority to declare an attack, which is important to declare an attack before your opponent is able to use Linkuriboh, because so Linkuriboh cannot be activated, because if I declare an attack, you summon Linkuriboh, which that causes a replay, and I can just attack over Linkuriboh and you cannot use Linkuriboh effect. Then I use Ash effect, tribute itself and field spell to summon Populus, Populus ad original. Use IP and Populus to summon my own princess. He cannot use princess on my princess because it's made with IP. And I use Populus effect to put in the spell and trap zone Ash. Resolution, I use princess effect. I summon back the Flamberge. This forces his princess to be used on my Flamberge, because otherwise I can just put his princess in the spell and trap zone. He pops the Ponix and my Flamberge. He should have chained Linkuriboh. I don't know why he did not chain Linkuriboh. That's just a free body on the board. Summon to back. Use Promethean and the level 1 to make Hita. Hita summons back his Arbata. Use original, sends the Ash to summon Ponix. Ponix effect in order to add Island. I set it out Sanctuary. Use Hita and the Diabella Star in order to make the Selene. Selene effect is gonna summon back the Diabella. Use the Witch and Selene in order to make Apollo by 2. Use Ponix to make Linkuriboh. Use Ash and Linkuriboh to make SP. SP is gonna banish his Garonix. Use Island. Pop the Kirin in order to add the Garonix. Garonix c'è Link 1. Kirin c'è Link 2 in order to summon back Ponix and to pop his Promethean. Then Garonix effect is gonna pop Arvata. Arvata effect is gonna summon back the Kirin. I have to use this Kirin as link material, because otherwise we'll get popped by Arvata during the end phase. And with those Garonix and Kirin, I summon Nightmare Phoenix that's co-linked with Apollosa and SP in order to not be able for him to destroy those by battle. I just pass. During the standby phase, Ponix effect. He goes then original, put back Populus at another Populus. Populus effect, I'm fine with that. He does not have a target, he checked the deck. Normal summon Oak, Oak effect, target the Ash, just chain Apollo. He goes Linkuriboh cost on the Populus, and this is basically game if I just chain SP on Oak. Summons back the Linkuriboh, Populus is gonna put Kirin in the spell and traps. My AP and Isoka come back. Wanted, add Diabellster from the grave, use original, put back the Populus, add Doc. Draw a card with Wanted, I discard whatever I draw to summon which effect to set, switch Ponix in attack, enter in battle phase, and that's game. So, I hope that you guys learned something from my mistakes and also some of the technical plays that I showed you guys. That said, see you next time.